Can play back the sound and to see if there's a built-in mic with this fabulous Logitech camera. It's me here and Victor.
Guys.
We're actually recording, and this is Victor Taplin, and this is Jim the Linux Guru.
Hey, how's it going, Jim?
He did.
It's going awesome.
Are you putting together a LAMP server or something?
No.
Oh, let's see videos. Can we see videos of each other? Is it not?
I don't have webcam on my laptop here.
Oh, how come it's not working? The other one should.
Oh,
work.
can you see us?
Oh, because you don't have webcam, you can't see us?
I'm not sure. Let me see if.
Because we can't see us either. We used to be able to see.
Oh, we
us.
can't see us. Nice.
No, we used to see us. You know, they had the little preview thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we don't have to do that.
Paula, I can imagine what you look like, but the other people, not so much.
Oh, no, here. Now can you see us? Now we can see us.
Okay, let me check the settings here.
We wanted to do a commentary on Star Booty Black Ops because Victor is a really good editor.
Okay, no problem.
So let's pull up Star Booty and start
Oh,
going.
I see you. Oh, I see you.
You see us?
No.
You should see us. But don't worry, you sound good. And do we sound good?
Yeah, you guys sound great. Perfect.
Okay, so we're going to do Star Booty right now. I've been explaining to Victor because he's been out of the... He did RabbitHoleCentral.tv.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and he thought PaulaGloria.com was a little tame, but he was very impressed with Star Booty. So let's roll. That's okay. Keep him going there.
Right.
And let's make that big.
Right. Okay. We got this here. Let's go.
Television and everything that's coming through it is a complete lie.
You're sucked into this no blame thing. You don't understand. It's a total black op. I saw it coming a mile away, mile away, mile away, mile away. It's a total black op. Black op. Black op. Black op.
Track down Paula Gloria.
Black op.
Like an active sheriff driver down the rabbit hole, you know, the one that Richard Christie always hunts as Rusty Rivers. Well, Paula was very surprised. We called and said it took her months to realize it was the Stern Show pranking her. Only after she posted clips on YouTube did she realize that she was being punked by the Stern Show. The mantra and mantra creates tantra.
Television and everything that's coming through it is a complete lie.
You're sucked into this no blame thing. You don't understand. It's a total black op. I saw it coming a mile away.
Terrorists, so-called terrorists, who train on a 172 and jump in a cockpit of a 757, 767 class and ready to navigate the aircraft, lateral navigate the aircraft, and fly the airplane at speeds exceeding its design limit speed by well over 100 knots, make high speed to high-bound turns,
Aeronautical science.
and the aircraft would literally fall out of the sky. I couldn't do it, and I'm absolutely positive.
You're sucked into this no blame thing. You don't understand. It's a total black op. I saw it coming a mile away.
Some cranky Yankee calls. Tantra plus yantra. You know, Rusty, I'm so glad you called me. Rusty, can you hold on? No, Rusty.
Don't apologize, Rusty.
There's no blame thing. You don't understand. It's a total black op. I saw it coming a mile away.
The most important arm of the government. So let's take a propaganda of what's been going on television for the last 8 years.
Too high for that computer.
Jump up here. I have no kick anymore, and my DVD card collection is still stolen. Now don't get back again after we
Physical television and everything that's coming through it is a complete lie.
Mantra and yantra creates tantra.
can't jump out A, B. My phone collection is stolen. These are gonna four people around me. I can't even watch calls. I have no day, and all the shit stolen by Ryan.
Somebody mentioned sexual terror. Is this what that means?
Managed to kiss. There's no private life anymore. It's not a big problem. Some enjoyment, putting my hand on my cheek or in some pussy.
Mantra and yantra
Full about airplanes and illusions and computer graphics and Voltaire terror and psychological operations. We have been led down the garden psychopath.
Well, he could have had an internal ejaculation. That could be the cause.
So, the no plane versus plane. Let's start at the Pentagon. No plane or plane, Jack, what? I don't know. Okay, let's go to Shanksville. No plane or plane, Jack, what?
Apparently no plane, but again, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, if there's a plane, I should know, right? So on those two bases...
Creates tantra. Mantra and yantra creates tantra.
Full television and everything that's coming through it is a complete
Mantra and yantra creates tantra.
complete lie.
New York on Sunday. Big city taking a nap. Slow down, it's Sunday. Glass of ball and pour right in your lap. If you've got troubles, just take
Wow.
Anyway, Jim, I just love that mashup.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sushi roll. It sort of has, elements of everything in it,
Can you tell people how you happened to make it? Because I'm just catching up with Victor. He's the one that was dancing with Christine Ebersole when we were doing.
Right, okay, that's what I thought,
Yeah.
right. On that video. New York on Sunday.
New York on Sunday.
Oh, there you go.
We've got the cat running in
Can
front
you
of
see
the
us?
camera. Can you see us? Oh, you still can.
I wish I could, but
Okay.
I can't.
But anyway, tell us a little about the background. What got you to be from a Howard Stern viewer who wanted to do PaulaGloria.com and a little less of the 9/11 to becoming right in the mashup scene himself?
Well, as your title says, farther down the rabbit hole, sometimes you just keep going deeper and deeper with the knowledge. And I think there's two types of people out there. I think they're the people that want to know what's going on, and the other people that want total penetration or the total truth, as you say.
Right.
So I kind of fell into the I want the total knowledge, and I just kept researching, and then certain things become apparent. You see patterns. So once I sort of woke up, I started listening to different sources, and Alex Jones kind of
Tipped you off?
sort of, or ticked me off.
Oh, ticked you off.
Yeah, as far as his comments about the dope planers.
Yeah, because you knew we weren't black ops because you were the one that provided Nico with the camera, right?
Right. Or maybe I'm Black Ops, I don't know. So,
But you know what's so interesting is the art that's emerging, out of this direction, like the subway one. I think that was the first thing he went and did. I don't know if Victor's seen the subway, but people,
Oh, that one, yeah, where Nico
freaks
was
out.
freaking out in the subway? Yeah. Oh, my God.
see, I think that's brilliant. Now, people would look at that and be horrified by it, but I think it's brilliant satire and transgression humor, as he says.
right, exactly.
But I think with the higher intelligence and the deeper knowledge, I think you get the humor. That's where the humor comes from. In order to be humorous, you have to have the full knowledge of something to be able to sort of add all the elements. I mean, if you look at the Star Booty video, look at how many different diverse elements we've got. Alex Jones, we've got Nico's, the porn problems. So it's sort of like everything rolled into one.
Yeah, and you've got Howard Stern also. What are some of your thoughts about what's been happening? Because Harold Channer noticed that on May 19th there was a real spike, and I looked on Blip TV because I posted my business confession that was inspired by private parts. I put that up almost a year ago on Blip TV, and I think it had 1,500 hits that day alone.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, what are you thinking about the evolution of PaulaGloria.com right now? Oh, hang on just a second. RabbitHoleCentral? Oh, I don't know. What do you think about the evolution?
I think that PaulaGloria.com, as he said, it looked too tame. initially I envisioned it just to be a general all-around site on yourself, on Paula Gloria, and it could be about the spiritual aspect, it could be about the 9/11 aspects, it could be about different aspects. So I sort of saw it in a broad sense, rather than just sort of in one way, because people may be attracted to you for different reasons. You have to, be aware of that.
Oh yeah, no, I know. And somebody said that now that I have more viewers, some of my favorite work is a little esoteric. So, well, like the St. Mark's stuff, and how passionate I was about doing the nonviolent communication. I don't know. Have you had time to look at the latest videos? Maybe.
I've been keeping up with all your videos pretty much. I saw the one where you got spit on.
Yeah. Did you know that was taken down?
484.
Yeah, I saw that when it first came out, and then I looked for it the next day, and I thought maybe that was the one you were referring to that was taken down.
It was up for 5 days. It had 3,800 hits. And,
at the top, please record your
had
message.
800. I'm trying to get a hold of Molly.
Or press 1 for more options.
Hey Molly, I wanted to see if we can get with you and Jim, the Linux guru. We're going to go out to Dayton next week, so I thought we'd have a running start. Call me back if this bounced to voicemail. Anyway, where was I?
Oh, you were talking about the video that was being taken down.
Yeah, it had 813 comments. And then I sort of took a break. I went into Gramercy Park every day, and I did my streaming from the park. And this is when everybody had moved out, and I was just kind of, resting after the whole thing. And I had a wonderful time just kind of grounding and streaming from the park, and I didn't post anything for almost a week. Do you know I had one lovely soul from Italy calling up to make sure I was okay. It was really touching. But I noticed there were a lot of hits on the last one that I did, but generally I get a lot of hits when something comes out, about 300, and then it tapers off, and then the new one comes down the line. But that had 800 comments. So
that's amazing. I wish I would have been able to catch that, because I like going through your comments and seeing where everyone's coming.
Oh man, the comments! It was like a whole history in a thumbnail sketch of the whole no planes versus planes. And I never had anything in my inbox saying that it was being taken down. YouTube hasn't responded. And I mean, there's plenty of mirroring. It's not like that footage is lost and we can post it somewhere else, but I won't get the comments back, No,
I understand.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all the more reason that I want to start to develop paulagloria.com, where I can blog. And then Rabbit Hole Central TV, I wanted to have it be the stream hosting location for other shows like...
Well, there's plenty of shows coming up on Rabbit Hole Central TV.
This is the executive producer, by the way.
Well, for example, What in the Hell is Going On?
Yeah, that's going to be Victor's show.
And then there's lots of movie streams that are coming in as well. So
that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, and we were thinking of doing some way with the click-throughs, so that as we interview people, we can have some of the revenue from the clicks go directly to those people.
Oh. Okay.
Like what I'm thinking is, here's my vision right now. I'd like paulagloria.com to sort of be a little retail space, so we can take like Nico's really esoteric knowledge and make it a little more bite-size, available, user-friendly for the novice.
Right.
And so now that Victor's here with What the Hell is Going On, he could say interview Judy Wood.
Right.
So that would be, I'm a big fan of Judy Wood and her website.
Well, you want to give a tidbit away, or you want to save it for Judy of what happened to you?
I won't tell, I promise.
Well, we're recording this for everybody, so.
Oh!
But anyway.
You're on.
Victor was working for New York One on the day of 9/11, and he just recently told me some...
Yeah, it was really... Yeah, we just happened to be chatting. What happened was, I was a microwave truck, live truck operator at the time. And what happened was the cameraman who was with me had his camera stolen. I wasn't a cameraman. He was the cameraman. I was the truck operator.
Right, it wasn't
I never lost a piece of equipment in my career. Thank God. Anyway, so later on we ended up at the police station to make out a police report.
Molly, hang on, put you on.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're taping a show, Molly. We've got Molly, Jim, the Linux guru, and Victor was just talking about working for New York One and being a truck operator. And wait until you hear this, Molly. I've never heard this story before.
Okay, just to recount, around the time of 9/11, about a week or two after.
Can you hear okay?
Yep.
I was a microwave truck operator for New York One Television.
Oh, a microwave. I gotcha.
Yeah. And, or a live truck. Anyway, the cameraman who was with me that morning had his camera stolen. So later on in the afternoon, we ended up at the police station to make a police report. So we got to talking about, what happened downtown that day. And a detective told me that the recoveries that they were making of the firefighters who were lost in the attack, that they didn't find bodies. All they found were uniforms.
Uniforms?
No bodies, just uniforms.
What?
That is very strange.
So when they were having funerals, all they were burying were the uniforms.
Wow.
So you see, guys, this is sort of the moment. I've always been putting Judy Wood on hold, and I was always waiting for the right moment, because I always like somebody that has some experience that I can kind of hold on to. And now I know Victor so well. He developed, the website for me, RabbitHoleCentral.tv. But isn't that huge?
The unholy.
Oh! Well, that's one of the shows that appears on there, yeah, sure.
Right.
Less so now, thank God.
But anyway, Molly, your dad, MNN said that because I didn't have a letter of determination, I couldn't ask for donations. So I had a lot of really great shows all ready to go, and I just didn't want to redo them to knock out the last 10 seconds. And I waited, and so I had a whole batch of them. I forgot what they were. And your dad, there was one show where he called in talking to Web Fairy about his work with 0 point energy. But I have a feeling that these are going to dovetail, these technologies of destruction and huge liberation.
Sure.
So
no, that's definitely. So anyway, so apart from that, is Jim on the line? I mean, are we all doing what we're going to do next?
Yeah, I was just brainstorming because I was thinking, I know, Molly, you have always been a champion of unions. Every time we interview somebody, I think it must be possible in this age of clicking and demographics and keeping track of everything, that we could do like 50% to whoever our guests are. And it'll be automatic royalties. And people can just sort of vote with their clicks.
Right.
Because we want to try to get our material on our website. For example, were you here when I said that I got one taken down that had 3,800 hits and 800 comments in 5 days? And although I can never get the comments back because YouTube just took it down, I can repost.
They didn't give you back the comments?
No. That's why Jim is helping me with paulagloria.com by putting a blog in it.
That's great.
Yeah, so we can start to develop it that way, but then we can start to have shows like What the Hell is Going On? That'll be Victor's show. And,
what the hell is going on?
Yeah. You want to tell Molly your concept, because she wasn't.
Oh, yeah, well, you saw some of it. The interview I did with Jim Fetzer and the gentleman that did the...
I saw the interview you did with Jim. He's coming back into town in July.
To New York?
Yeah, because he emailed me and was saying how much fun he had on my show and wanted to reconnect.
Right.
And said he was going to be in town in June, and I told him that I was kind of, June was kind of tight. And then he called, he emailed back saying, well, it's not going to probably work out in June, but he said July he was going to come back into town.
Well, that'd be great if it's towards the end of July, because I'm going to be in California with my family till mid-July. But
when are you leaving?
On the 20th of June, and I'll be back on the 16th.
You won't be in town for my birthday.
Yeah, but I'm going to call and we're going to do a show or something.
Don't worry. I'll be here, Molly.
That makes me feel so much better.
Don't worry.
Molly has unmet needs.
That's all right. I'll meet them for her.
What was that, Victor?
Nothing, dear.
No, Jim. The problem is she's not sexually attracted to Victor.
Well, not yet. Give her time.
Well, he's very handsome, so what's the problem?
I met him. Don't worry. I
You know what I look like?
Yeah.
How do you know what I look like?
You've been on the videos before. I saw you dancing around a
Oh,
Paula.
that's
is-
right.
I'm the hardcore fan. You got to realize that.
Yeah.
gosh,
He
okay.
came to me from Howard Stern.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Jim came from Howard Stern.
Jim the Linux guru.
Yeah,
right?
Jim the Linux guru.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I came from the universe,
You came from the universe. That's right.
and then tuned into Howard Stern, and then came to you.
Right.
Yeah. No. It's a problem. You know. What can I say?
Anyway, he was listening to Black Ops, Star Booty.
Who was?
Victor was?
Okay.
You've heard it, haven't you?
Maybe just refresh my memory.
It's what Jim the Linux Guru did, and he had Howard Stern on it, and it was a mashup, and I loved it because here he was, a Howard Stern fan, and now he becomes a mashup artist himself.
I think I saw it because I can't remember. But what is it important that I know it?
No, it's just that's what, Victor's just catching up. I just thought it just amazing because remember when we first went, I was being all resistant because I felt...
Where? To Columbus?
Yeah, because I felt that he didn't want to, or he wasn't understanding my 9/11 stuff.
Yes.
And now here he is, doing the mashups.
Can't write anyone off.
What's that?
You can't write anyone off just because they don't agree with you.
Yeah, he didn't exactly... Well, you want to talk about the evolution, Jim?
Is it necessary? I mean...
We've got viewers, Molly, who don't know anything. That's why we're recording a show. What's that?
This instant?
Yeah, I'm recording a show.
Right, but I'm just saying that. Well, okay, if it's helpful, then let's go there. But I'm more interested in strategizing.
Yeah. What I wanted to do about strategizing was open it up to the viewers to have an idea of, to have some input because they can leave comments. And I think there's some people who are very sad that some of the videos are taken down because that one that had 800 comments was such a rich explanation of the whole...
I totally agree. I mean, this is why I've always said that we need our own server.
Yeah, what about getting off YouTube and then all the traffic that's directed to your shows can be hooked into, click-throughs or banner advertisements or, you're losing revenue. I think you're realizing now is the time to sort of jump into your own thing.
Yeah, and it's not even for the sake of revenue, although that would be great. It's because you don't have control. Like I've got this 800 comment. Like Jim never got to see it before it went down. But anyway,
what if you reloaded the video up there?
It's not a question of the video even. It's all the comments that people make.
We never had a chance to grab those.
Right.
And it's difficult to grab them. I think don't you have to do them individually or something?
Well, you could just grab the text.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could figure that out in the future.
Control all is. I mean, you know what I mean. Like sometimes you can highlight them all and just. But still, there's. The comments. How often do you archive them? You know what I mean. Like it's just a never-ending process, and you never know what they're going to take down. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like when they start taking down stuff that is absolutely no copyrighted material and is not even like controversial topics, like okay, sex may be controversial to some, but it's not like it was porn that we were talking about, and our video got taken down.
Yeah, I know. And
how can you take down video that you own and you shot? I don't understand that. It happened on the street. What if it can't be viewed? If it can be viewed from the streets of New York, it can't be seen on YouTube?
No, it was that one of the things you can't put on YouTube is copyrighted material, supposedly. And another thing is porno, correct, Paula?
Yeah. Yeah, although they have horrible pedophile sites up. I want to read something here.
Anyway, I'm just saying that it just amazed me that here we had this video up that didn't fall into any of those categories. They took it down for no reason, saying it was copyright material, and there wasn't any copyright material involved at all.
Right. Now, let me read to you a comment that was made by a thoughtful viewer. He goes, you'd be, both of you would be interested in this. This regards me going to St. Mark's Church when I asked one guy if he had his necktie. I explained that to you, Molly, right?
Right.
So when he goes, when you go to a place that you are obviously not wanted, you may get a negative response. While the gentleman who was yelling at you could have handled himself better, it looks to me that you were there to provoke such a response. That's not nonviolent. If for the fact of you being present, there would be no such response by him. Also, the tie thing is to jerk you around. You leave yourself open to that by being less than subtle in your approach. You may believe in your message, but there is a time and a place. Now, to which I asked him, I said, do you think, insofar as a time and a place, that going on Howard Stern was good? So and then I asked if he was the father of a comedian, because I remembered him from maybe 6 months ago. So he goes, yes, I'm the father of the stand-up comic Jordan Cooper. You were invited on the show. True, Howard was interested in your entertainment value, but he did let you speak and he did interact with you. If you had been invited to St. Mark's and been involved in a discussion at the event, that is fine. But from what I could see, this was not a public meeting, a government hearing where all concerns are welcome and get a chance to speak. So you being there did not advance your cause. It just polarized the situation. You could say that you have a right to stand outside and confront, but does it accomplish anything except upset the people there who are not coming over to your side anyway? Also, by appearing with Howard and doing that 1 hour show, you reach more people than you can on your local radio show. Howard had 3 million people listening daily. So what do you think of that, Jim and Molly?
Well, I think that from what I understood, it was a public meeting, and it's not like you were going in there to break anything up. I think that you wanted to get to interview him, and he's...
No, actually, I didn't want to interview him. I only wanted Joe's footage to be able to be posted to his show.
Exactly. He's speaking at a public meeting, correct? I mean, the 9/11 stuff, everybody's got cameras.
Right.
Not like this guy doesn't know that it's up on Joe's, show on a daily basis.
Right.
And I think that it's kind of ridiculous that he's, appearing there when he knows that everyone's got a camera and then says you can't use the footage because he's not wearing a tie, for God's sake.
Right. Do you have any thoughts, Jim?
Yeah, I saw that episode. I thought that there was a lot of animosity on the other side. I mean, they seemed really hostile towards you.
Right.
Seems very deep-seated.
Well, Jim and Molly, yes, this guy was right. I didn't get the feeling I was wanted, but at the same time, I stood up once at St. Mark's and I said, if I'm no planes, am I welcomed here or not? And they said that I was welcomed, so I was just going by what I was told. And that also, I don't know if I've kept you up with this, Molly, but in my last few videos that I've posted, I've said that we need a physical venue to express ourselves. It's true we can go to Union Square outside, we can go to Central Park, but it'd be so nice to have a nice, dignified, quiet, easy environment in which to project these videos and start looking at the evidence. So I think until we do need to get St. Mark's to say, no, you are not invited, and then we can throw it open to the community. Can somebody offer a physical place where we can meet?
But I also think at St. Mark's, it was an open forum.
Yeah, I wish it would stay St. Mark's.
I mean, I'm just saying that, I don't think that guy really understands that St. Mark's is basically an open forum, and from the videos that I've seen, I haven't actually attended a meeting, that they're interested in everybody's viewpoint, or some people are, some people aren't. It's a volatile group.
It's a volatile group, yeah. But it also can get somewhere, because when you start really doing the right research, it's very exciting and compelling, and people jump on board. The animosity makes people kind of turned off. Do you have any thoughts, Jim?
Yeah, I do. I think the problem with the current 9/11 movement and We Are Change and all that is they have two aspects to their attack. One is PR, and the other is research. Let research be pure research. Let PR be pure PR. That's the problem they have. when they're cherry-picking research to figure out, well, what's best sellable to the public. To me, that sounds like a government propaganda agency trying to figure out, well, what do we tell the public about aliens? Well, let's just tell them this. You know, it's not their job to cherry-pick research, and they need to separate out the PR from the research. Their behavior is very puzzling. The way they act, they almost have a sort of 1970s view of technology. You know, as I've expressed before, you know, you've got iPods in your pocket that have, you know, web browsing computers with, you know, thousands of songs on it, but the military doesn't have advanced weapons.
Right.
So their view is very, to me, it's almost like somebody from 1975 looking at what happened at 9/11. Very low level. It was dynamite. It's very low level technology. Very low level.
Right.
Well, comprehension of technology. I mean, they're not very scientific. I think what you're trying to say.
Right.
And
aware, scientifically aware.
They've effectively shut out a lot of research. I mean, look at what Judy Wood's doing. It's incredible, and how deep she's going into her line of thinking. You know, some of the stuff Paula is looking into, thinking about. It's very shut down. Very shut down. They've done a great job at shutting down anything that isn't conventional. Now, I read alternative news sources. For example, I just added Novosti from Russia, a news webpage in English, as my, you know, on my list of things to look at. They were in it just last week, bragging about their new laser weapons and how they had laser weapons in the 70s because, you know, Boeing's coming out with their new laser cannon airplane. You know, Nico knows about this, but it's so hilarious, so funny how, you know, the new 21st century weapons are everywhere. Go on Slashdot, a geek blog. Go on regular news sources. It's everywhere. Yet in the We Are Change world and in the conventional world of the 9/11 researchers, these exotic technologies don't exist. They're everywhere.
Would they explain, Jim, what Victor just talked about, that they were finding uniforms only?
Oh, who?
And no bodies.
And no bodies?
Wait, say this again.
Well, the detective told me that they weren't recovering bodies from 9/11. They said that the firemen were gone. There were no bodies. There were just uniforms.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of any weapons like that, Jim?
Well, it's sort of like spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, or either that or they want to hide the bodies and they don't want them autopsied, because I did see one picture, and I don't know where I found it. I've only seen it once, of a charred body that was in the remains, and it looked like...
I don't think so, Jim, because the nature of what Victor said... Oh, we've got a little bug on the screen. The nature of what Victor said was that he came into the precinct with a stolen camera report, and the people were just kind of shaken up, or what would you say?
No, it was just, it was just a...
I mean, would they be hiding the charred bodies? That's what Jim was
But they might not have been exposed to the charred bodies. They might have, you know, hijacked them before, you know what I mean? Before the police got into recovery.
Dump a bunch of uniforms somewhere and say, all right, here you go.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Anyway, can I go back? Because
Yes.
I also want to go on and read, because this has to do with... Oh, by the way, Molly, Harold said that there was a big spike on the 19th of May, so there definitely is evidence that there's a lot of reach with the Howard Stern.
A big spike, what does that mean?
A lot of hits. A lot of hits. On Harold's show, Blip TV, I had my business confession inspired by private parts. Yeah, I put that up. I almost forgot about it a year ago on Blip TV. And it was explaining why I didn't like the Silverstein thing, because I thought it inspired anti-Semitism.
Right.
You know, pull it and all that. That was part of the psychological operation. And so I explained the real party of interest, and, you know, how we created a conspiracy too, so I knew that existed.
Right.
So,
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, so anyway, so
Else is watching besides the CIA.
Can I go back to what I want to read?
Right here.
Yeah, okay. So let me just read this. Paula, first let me state that as far as 9/11 goes, I disagree with your premise. But I also see some flaws in how you present yourself. The video at St. Mark's Church does not show all that led up to you being there that night. To the casual viewer, and you do have many because of Howard, you are confrontational. That video, without the necessary background information, does you more harm than good.
Oh.
On your show, you tried to call someone who hung up on you. When dealing with someone who might be hostile to you, use a less invasive means of communication. A letter or email would allow the person to answer you without confronting you. Incidentally, I had sent many emails and many phone calls that were never returned, so I wanted to clarify that whole thing. If you want more people to come to your views, make the message easier to understand. You go off in different directions. You also talk about concepts that require more knowledge than the casual viewer wants. You must remember that in any controversy, there are usually two polarized views, and they are fighting for the people who don't care or don't know. Even in the American Revolution, 1/3 were for, 1/3 against, and 1/3 didn't care. It was the latter group. The first two were fighting to win over. The message must be simple. Also, you tend to go on about how people in institutions like YouTube are not allowing your message out. Even Howard Stern, when he was on K-Rock, realized he could only talk about his problems with the FCC so long. After a while, people tune out.
Right.
I have been in sales and marketing for 37 years. We always say KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Your stream gave out after a while, and be careful of your lighting. At times you appeared as a shadow because of the sunlight through the window. I was home today. I'm usually working. So I thought that was valuable input I wanted to share with both of you.
Sure.
Any comments?
I mean, it sounds like he's watching your show very diligently and paying attention and giving you good advice. I mean, I also just kind of don't like it when you dumb things down too much, just for the casual, person. It's like, if you're interested, come to the party. If you're not, oh well.
Right. What are your thoughts, Jim?
I agree with Molly.
You agree with Molly?
There's a certain entry level, for entering the party too. You have to come with a certain level of intelligence.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but I agree that there's a certain way to approach things that is not less confrontational and actually uses the nonviolent communication. Don't say that you're using nonviolent communication if you're using violent communication.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like.
Was I using violent communication, Jim?
At St. Mark's, no. You were very persistent.
I was persistent.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the footage, but I know that Paula sometimes says, well, sometimes labels are good.
Right, that's true. That's transgression, Jim. But I always try to give a lot of information. Like, for example, war criminal would be somebody whose work would encourage entire countries to go to war that, without that work, it might have been harder to find.
Right.
I'm
just saying, just be aware that sometimes you talk out of both sides of your mouth, and I can see how some people might get the wrong impression.
Yes.
And not that you're not right at a certain level.
Yeah, I know.
But when you put it out there in public, you are just opening yourself up to criticism.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I would agree with Molly.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Any other thoughts, Jim? Because I know you were a Howard Stern viewer. That's how you came to me.
No other thoughts on that issue so, as far as St. Mark's Church goes.
No, but I mean, you agree with Molly about not dumbing it down too much, but to be aware to not talk out of both sides of your mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I think that even on Howard Stern, I would have liked to have seen you explain a lot of the concepts that you were throwing at him that, I know Paula speak very well, but
right.
Other people, especially somebody like Howard, is going to really pounce on you if you throw out a bunch of odd topics that he doesn't understand.
Yeah, I just think the whole mood was very, they were almost sort of hostile, but in a funny way, in a sort of transgression humor way. It was hilarious to see the whole staff completely just sort of confused. They didn't know what to do to Paula. It was like they didn't know how to handle her. It was just confounding them.
Well, like, for example, I told her that, when he was making fun of public access, that she could have come back, well, it's the only non-corporate sponsored media that we have, and that would have shut him right down.
Right.
And not that it's easy to think on your feet and come up with all the witty answers or whatever, but, in future, anytime anyone says that, how can they get around that?
Right. No, that's why I like having meetings and discussions like this to get feedback and to work on it. Along those lines, when he said 3 million, Molly, I always thought it was 8 million.
What?
Of viewers that Howard Stern had. And so there were many more letters I got from this thoughtful viewer. And he said that when he was on K-Rock selling, because he indicates that he sells ads for the radio station, that Howard, before he left for Sirius, had 12 million viewers.
That's correct.
That's correct.
And that was at a peak when he was at all of his stations. And then subsequently, a lot of the stations were removed, and Howard was sort of pared back.
I see.
Yeah, because, he doesn't have as many viewers on Sirius because not as many people have Sirius.
Right.
And I used to tune into him, if I was driving into Philly to go to work, and up that early, sure, I'd give him a shot for a while, just for some diversion.
Did you ever see him, Victor?
Who?
Howard Stern?
I met him once.
Huh?
I met him once.
Oh, you met him. Oh, Victor met him. You want to?
But what was your impression, Victor?
Regular guy.
What?
A regular guy.
Why is Molly surprised at that?
Regular guy, cool guy. He said, hi, how you doing? Big fan of your show. But this was around 1990 when I met him.
Well, he was still pretty big then.
Oh, yeah, he was hot.
He was huge.
So,
Who I think is really intelligent on that show, who I like and admire, is Robin Quivers.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yes.
I've read her book, Quivers, a lot. It's funny because I read it because I was just curious, but it's an excellent book, autobiography, and I think Robin knows a lot of this sort of fringe knowledge is true. I think that you sort of read between the lines of her. I think she's very highly intelligent, and she gets it.
Right.
But she doesn't come out and say it. That's not her way. It's to be overt about it.
No, it's not even a matter of it's not her way. I don't think that's effective. If, when I listen and pay attention, that's why I wanted to read that letter to you, to sort of take it in from all angles to figure out how to be most effective.
What would be interesting is if, one of you ask Robin if you can interview her and talk about her. I would be very interested in seeing you guys interview her and talk about her transformation to a liquid diet, to a raw foods diet, and ... how that sort of maybe has changed her spiritually.
Say, Molly, that sounds like a show for meetings with remarkable people.
Hey, she'll come on. I'd love to interview her. I've always been a big fan of hers.
Making a connection with Robin outside of the whole Howard Stern thing, but if you interviewed her, would be excellent. She's very highly intelligent. I think that if you picked her brain, it would be very interesting. We'd maybe gain some insight into what she sees.
I think that's a great idea. You always
think she'd do it?
Yeah, I think especially with you because you're descended from all these Constitution people.
Oh, come on, that doesn't hold water with Robin. No. She's not just a.
No. Let me tell you why, Molly. Because if I'm being set up to be the funny person and the wacky person and the crazy person,
right?
I might not be the perfect person to do that interview.
Well, that's true.
See, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I think you would be good to do it. And also because your dad is coming to the forefront on solutions, with the 0-point energy and things like that. And I think the reason I like to go far down the rabbit hole with 9/11 is because there are bright solutions on the table. And I think Jim is correct. If you have an intelligent person, that's who you want to connect with.
Well, an intelligent person who's recently made a change as far as, losing all the weight and sort of spiritually, and as a vegan, I know that when you change your diet, you also change spiritually, and it changes a lot of things in your life.
Right, it changes your frequency. I think that Howard is intelligent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
He's
I think that a
intelligent.
lot of people just don't get him in a way.
Yeah, I know. What do you think about Beetlejuice? I don't think Molly will know, but Jim, I was very touched when I saw that in it. And Molly, it's this guy that's kind of autistic, and he's a dwarf, and he's got missing teeth, but and he was singing along to a song, and there was such an incredible vibration of his soul. And it was at a time when, you know, I had just so much conspiracy stuff, you know, because I've got all these emails to go through every day. And then somebody else said Howard's a Nazi, and he puts these people on to make fun of them. So Jim, do you want to comment? Because I'm sure Molly hasn't seen Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I can't really comment on him singing, but as far as what Howard exploiting these people, or
Yeah, do you think he exploits them?
you know, on the surface level, you could sort of say maybe he has exploited them. On another level, it's almost like he's created this band of misfits, and if these people maybe didn't have a slot on Howard, you know, maybe their lives wouldn't be as enriched.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, maybe he's exploiting them, but at least he's not just going for people that are good-looking and, I don't know, eloquent, so to speak.
Right, right. Yeah, how about the Nico Hitler thing, Jim? What do you think about that?
The Nico Hitler is really, really excellent transgression humor. It's funny, it's hilarious. It sort of shows, without them realizing it, it sort of shows the other side on how they're just being like sort of, you know, a Hitler mentality of, you know, you must think this way, you must think this way. I would like to see Nico develop a separate personality that would sort of complement Nico Hitler. And, you know, maybe if we could, you know, split screen, green screen them in and sort of do like, you know, a sort of Nico Ayatollah could sort of issue fatwas with Nico Hitler. So, you know, we could not only digitally gas people, but we could also, you know, issue fatwas against them. And I think with the
hang on just a second, Jim. You're cutting out. It's the Skype thing. So go really slowly, because these are very deep. It's a very deep insight here. Can you explain again another complementary character to Nico Hitler? Because I think he was working on that.
Okay, another complementary character to Nico Hitler that could work with Nico Hitler. That almost, if we had the technology to sort of green screen them, sort of split screen them together, would be funny. Is if you sort of did an Islamic character, sort of like, you know, a mullah, sort of a Nico Mullah or something, where he could issue fatwas. So you'd have
what's a fatwa?
Like an edict. You know, that's sort of
religious decree.
Like when they put out a death warrant on Salman, which is Rushdie.
Right, I see.
Isn't that a fatwa?
Think of it as a position paper.
What?
Think of it as a religious position paper.
I'm sorry, run that by me again? You're cutting out.
Think of it as a religious position paper.
A religious position paper.
Position paper.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well said. You know, I think he was trying to do that a little bit with AQ Al-Qaeda. Actually.
Well, if you had Nico as both characters, I think it would be funnier.
That's true.
Because then they could sort of work together. You know?
Any thoughts of Nico Hitler?
Well, I mean, considering, you know, the lineage of the people running the United States of America, it could be apropos.
That's the idea, I think.
What if you had Nico Normal?
Well, I've seen that before on one of the very old episodes of Paula's show.
Oh, Nico Light?
Well, you know, when he has his hair done.
That I did with Nico, he's a completely different person.
Oh, yeah. Did you see him with his new haircut, Molly?
No, I haven't seen his new haircut.
It's really good, and I got a good person to do it. You know, she was at Amachi's, and she's with the One Taste community. And I
did like a preppy Nico with like a polo shirt and, you know.
Euro trash Nico.
Oh.
Well, we could do that.
Euro trash Nico.
Well, Nico needs his own special.
Yes, I think Nico needs his own special.
He could do like Tracy Ullman and just have all these characters.
Burnett, sort of have the different characters come out.
Oh, say that again because you were cutting out. I want to make
Sort
sure.
of like the old Carol Burnett show.
The old Carol Burnett show.
Have Nico do different characters.
Have Nico do different characters.
But like Tracy Ullman plays like, I don't know, 50 different characters on her show.
Yeah.
And they interact with each other.
And you could pick which Nico you really hate. And then, maybe like preppy Nico could interview Nico Hitler.
Right.
And then argue about things. Then, sort of the Ayatollah Nico could sort of argue with, preppy Nico saying, he's, part of the Zionist conspiracy and,
Wow. What do you think of that, Molly?
I think that sounds great. Cause
I think
that people just assume that since he's German that he's serious.
Right.
Yeah, it would really confuse them to have these different Nicos.
Right.
And then every week they could blow up. They could have people could call in to vote which Nico character gets to die at the end of the show. So like every show, a Nico would blow up, until maybe all of them blow up.
He would be digitally gassed, right?
Yeah, you could. Well, and then
and then you could resurrect him, by some idiotic thing for the next show.
Well, the Ayatollah Nico would never die, because he has multiple lives. And then we could have like fake, you could have fake protesters come and sort of like break in the studio and run on stage, or you could have fake Homeland Security people.
Fake Homeland Security people, I love it.
Coming in and like,
Network. Did you ever see the movie Network?
Did you see the movie Network?
I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
Anyway, they killed Peter Finch on air.
Oh wow, I need to see it.
Because his ratings weren't high enough.
Well, see, I think Homeland Security should come in and arrest one of the Nico Hitlers, or one of the Nicos, and then another Nico character will take the place and do the rest of the show.
Oh, wow.
Do we have an agent? Can we have a production crew we can discuss this with?
Right. No, I love these.
Or you could have a Nico that's head of Homeland Security as well.
Yeah.
Or Nico could be like sort of Jon Stewart, who's going to get gassed this week, and we could pick somebody from the government, that'll get gassed.
Right.
You might give people ideas.
You know what the...
Well, we don't want to do that. I mean...
The idea of the digital gassing is that the private contractors that did 9/11 probably thought they were just doing a drill, and they were probably killed afterwards. But some of the leaders in the so-called truth movement are aware of what they're hiding, and that's why he's so incredibly infuriated. And he came up with this comedy theme to digitally gas.
Well, you know what the first rule of assassination is.
What's that?
Right.
No.
Kill the assassins.
Right. Well, that's what, look at Lee Harvey Oswald. Guy steps up on camera and kills him.
Right.
And everybody cheers.
Right.
He's some mafia guy who gets off eventually, or, I don't know, I can't remember if he got life. But
You know what, Jim, somebody said?
He got cancer and died in prison.
Jack Ruby.
Yeah, Rubenstein.
Jack Ruby, yeah. Or Rubenstein. Oh, yeah, the Zionists.
Yeah, originally from Chicago.
The Zionists again.
Somebody said...
They're everywhere.
Wow.
What?
I think Paula's a Zionist. She has a Star of David in her apartment.
I know, but...
I saw one on one of the
Bob, I just
websites.
remember that.
But
Don't
I
forget
saw
that
Paula had a
swastika.
swastika.
That swastika. That
I'm gonna turn her
swastika. And she looks kind of Aryan with this blonde hair and blue
Yeah,
eyes.
what's up with this blonde?
Yeah, right. What's up?
I'm part black. I think that Paula is part of the
Are you
the
part black?
establishment.
Are you part black, Jim?
No,
Oh, no? Okay.
I have a black aunt and a black cousin, so
You do? Oh.
yeah. So
Well, that's
I'm not part, but
Me
no.
too, actually.
You have a black...
Yeah.
and a black...
Fancy
I
that.
have black relatives, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
And they're always the most fun at the family parties.
Oh, sure,
white,
yeah,
white
well,
ones
yeah,
are
well,
just
They
boring.
have the rhythm and...
They can cook and everything.
I know some black people that can't dance.
You do? Well, not Victor. He danced with Christine.
Victor dances very well.
Yeah.
New York on
Yeah.
Sunday.
I'm still not impressed.
Don't worry.
Oh God.
Give it
Oh,
time,
God.
Molly.
Give it time.
Oh, I'm not.
Give it time, Molly.
Are we like so far off our agenda here, or what? Or
No, we're-
Paula
We're
keeps
just
on
hanging
it.
out on a Saturday night at RabbitHoleCentral.
Right. Right. No, I just wanted to brainstorm, and I feel very satisfied that I was able to give you those range of comments, and I think the range that you gave back are really good. And what I'll do is I'll post this and see what people think. Just put it out there.
Think people really listen to all this?
Oh yeah, I've already got 55 comments just from yesterday's.
Only in Italy.
Huh?
Only in Italy they listen to her?
Oh.
They only understand 20%.
Oh, guess what, Molly? There's demographics on YouTube, so you can click and see who listens. And it turns out, Nico, at Madhouse Radio, they used to show you the percentages and what the ages were.
Uh-huh.
And it was mostly men. And
listen to you?
No, Nico Hitler.
I see.
Or Nico on Madhouse Radio. That's a professional punk calling station.
Uh-huh.
But the demographics were very interesting. It was mostly men around the age of 35, but of the women, most of the women were 55 to 65.
Well, he likes older women.
No, but it's older women like that information.
Maybe they just like Nico.
I don't think it was just Nico, because these were a lot of mine also. I think it's the mix of this type of 9/11 no planes and mashups and stuff like that. I think he calls it DJ culture. Do you know what that term is?
Well, it's sort of a hip-hop thing, right?
DJ culture, I'm not really up on, but I think it's sort of this, you can do your thing, do my thing, everyone sort of, works together, sort of an anarchic collaboration of DJs, I would imagine.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's like rap music is kind of DJ culture, no?
I think he's talking more about like house music and dance, remixing, that type of thing, rather than hip hop.
Well, anyway. Well, I guess I'm thinking rap music.
We're all over the map, aren't we?
Anything else we should talk about before we close it, Victor? Do you want to say anything?
Well, I thought we were going to brainstorm about what to do.
I thought we just did. Okay, Molly, what to do?
I don't know. You tell me. I mean, I'm wondering what's happening with Howard. How do you position yourself to capitalize on that? How do you position yourself to get your own show on Howard? I mean, that's kind of where I was hoping we'd go with this.
Do you have any thoughts, Jim?
No. You tell us.
Because you listen every day, don't you?
You know what?
What?
I don't listen every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's what it is, Molly. It doesn't
Anymore.
It doesn't pay any. Oh, is any reason why, Jim? Something we should know about?
I'm more of a Paula Gloria fan now than a Howard Stern fan.
Oh, that's so. I guess people only have so much time in the day. Well, I try to do justice to that by bringing the best information. Okay, Victor, what's your thoughts?
That's what I told you before.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to get into the strategy. But I mean, Molly put it all in a nutshell. Repeat what you said, Molly, again.
A national platform is gold. Look at all the hits you got after just one appearance on Howard and one opportunity to have a show. If you just had a weekly show on Sirius, that wouldn't take us. It's not like you'd have to do a daily show.
Right.
Your numbers would go through the roof. You could get your own sponsors.
Yes, well, after in that thing where it said that people hung up on me and so on, right on that same show, Wendy Barrett from the Village Scandal called up and was really nice, indicating how much she liked my show. So I realized I do need to go out and start getting sponsors. But it's kind of tricky because that 9/11 thing is very volatile.
Well, that goes without saying, but
and yet that's what
even if they offer you a show. I mean, have they offered you a show for no pay?
No, they haven't. But I also didn't really want to go back on with Nico. But I think that's been very well articulated in our discussion of what Jim said. I think Nico should have his own special.
Yeah, definitely. And even if they give Nico his own special for free, it's like, as soon as you guys get 2 million people listening to you, all of a sudden you'll be able to write your ticket in a different, a totally different way.
Right.
And it won't, it doesn't take you that much effort to do a radio show.
Right.
So Molly's saying build up your popularity and then make a lateral move somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah, you can lateralize it, through websites or, I mean, traffic is traffic, and also if you become a celebrity, it just puts you in a whole different ballpark.
Oh, speaking of celebrity, Molly, talk about the book. This is a perfect time to announce it.
Well, I mean, I don't know what there is to talk about. It's just I'm within basically 100 pages left to polish. So this month it is going to go to the agent, and we'll find out what happens next.
And tell them the name of the book.
Oh, The Saga of the Molly Llama and St. Paula of Gramercy Park.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Whoa.
Love that.
Actually, too bad you're not looking, because I've got a picture here of it.
Oh, you mean of us?
Oh, no, that's the Valentine's thing. Oh, here, yeah.
Oh,
us.
my gosh.
And I would love to use that photo. I mean, maybe what we're going to have to do, Paula, is dress up in the robes and then take those old photos and put them on there.
Oh, explain to people what these are. This is Molly.
This is an actual photo of the Dalai Lama and some saint that he's got his sort of arm around. And then for our Christmas card for the turn of the millennium, when we were going to India together, I took a photo of Paula and myself when we went to the Yucatan when we first met.
Right.
And
very high energy.
And it was actually at the pyramid of Chichen Itza where the equinox, this light and shadow phenomena occurs at the spring equinox and also at the fall equinox. So the energy was just very high. And so anyways, I took those photos, put them on there, and then sent out like 400 copies to my nearest and dearest friends. Devotees, and then took a batch of them with us to India. And then this evolved into emails to Paula's then boyfriend, consort. We still don't know quite what he is.
My sometimes intimate partner.
Sometimes intimate partner.
Now he's my ex-sometimes intimate partner.
And the reason why she was going to India because Alan wouldn't commit to her. And
right.
So I was really eager to go somewhere without Alan, because, of course, I have a crush on Paula. And, which we figured out was actually non-sexual, but that took a little bit of finding out to do, too.
That's another chapter, the clothing optional seminars in Harbin Hot Springs.
Right. So
you gotta buy the book, ladies and gentlemen. it's all in the book.
That book ends the book, I guess. Yes, it does.
Right, right.
So anyway, this book started out as a bunch of emails to Alan because we'd be sitting in. And Paula